Armin Maiwez is a man who has been experiencing a cannibalistic instinct.
Yeah, because his mom, kicked dad out and, was hooking around and decided to bring Armin, good old Armin, around for all these dates and hang out in the backseat of the car while she, went on these dates with these men. she also controlled literally every aspect of Armin's life because his older siblings were like half siblings and they never lived with him really, like not long enough for him to really remember too much or hang around. So Armin, as a preteen and getting into his teenage years, is like, man, I really like watching butcher meat, which is weird, I know, but it's you got any meat? So Armin starts to come up with this fascination that maybe if I just eat people, they'll never leave me. I won't lose people that I care about if I eat them. So then, he becomes an adult and he goes into the military and he's really good. But he starts realizing that he has this weird thing where he thinks he might be gay, but he's asking his like people that he's bunking with. He's like, "Hey, do you think I'm gay?" And they're like, "Well, I don't. Are you gay? How am I supposed to answer that?" Well, after a series of like just some unsuccessful relationships, Armin in the military becomes a drunk, and he gets pulled over a few times, and then he's like, "All right, well, I'm done with this. Let's go back home and take care of mom because that's the right move." Well, guess what? Mom died. That happened. Armin talks about how much of a release it was that mama died because now he can really venture into this whole cannibalistic idea that he had of eating somebody, which makes sense to Armin. This is about the time when internet was coming around, so he's like in these chat rooms because chat rooms were popular at one point. And the dark web's like, hey, there's other people that have these cannibalistic ideas. So he starts posting like these mannequin videos of things that he wants to do to actual people, and he's looking for somebody that is interested, right? So this after a few unsuccessful ones, this one guy goes, "Hey man, I want you to kill me and eat me. Like that. It's going down." And Armin's like, "Look, this has to be 100% a willing participant because I'm not just doing this just because it's a freaky fantasy that I have. Like you have to be okay with this, or I'm not doing it." Yeah. So this dude shows up, and he's like, "Hey, let's go home. I'm gonna chug this cold syrup, this cough medicine, and I'm gonna take a bunch of these pills. And as soon as I pass out, the first thing I want you to do is eat my penis." You said your penis. So Armin's like, "Wait, what?" It's not really what I had in mind, but all right. And this guy's like, "Yeah, man, it's just something I really wanted is for someone to eat my." So if this is happening, you know what? I've changed my mind. You, I don't know what it is, but I feel like backing out. And Armin's committed. Like if they're not interested, I can't do it. So he's like, "I'm cool. I'll take you back to the plane. Get in the car, man." And on the ride, he's talking about, "Yeah, I can't explain this to my spouse. My partner back home is gonna wonder what's going on. You know what? I don't want to deal with having to explain this. So let's just go back and just get it over with." So they stop. They get some more cough syrup, and some other things, and they go back to Armin's house, and yeah, Armin's like, "Dude, I'm gonna go get us some coffee." So he goes to the kitchen, and leaves him in the living room, and he's comes back, and this dude's naked. "Look at your dinner, man." So Armin tries to bite this dude's dick off. That, yeah, but it didn't work. He did pop a testicle though. So then he grabs a knife, and the first one's pretty dull, so he has to grab another knife. And by that time, this dude's like, "Hey man, I'm feeling a little woozy. You want to get me a bath going to kind of slow? We gotta slow down this blood stuff. This blood. There's lots of it. We gotta slow it down." So he draws him a bag. Now, dude's chilling in the tub, and Armin's over here in this other room just hanging out, waiting for this dude to be passed out so he can do his thing, you know? I think it's like several hours later. I mean, it's later. And he hears him call for him, and Armin comes in there. He picks him up. He ends up putting him on the bed, and dude dies. So Armin, over like the next 7 or 8 months, eats like 40 pounds worth of this dude's human body meat stuff. And he does get arrested because this other dude, he gets like, he wants more, right? So he reaches out online. He's bragging about these things that he did. And this college kid in Australia is like, this is a little weird, man. So I'm going to respond to this dude and get some more information. So he does that. And then he calls the cops and he's like, look, man, this dude's weird. And I'm pretty sure he actually killed the dude. So they get a warrant and they go search Armin's house. And boy, do they find stuff like frozen meat and tapes and things that prove that he did it. But Armin also didn't deny it. You know, it's kind of a weird thing. But anyways, he's arrested. He's in jail. But that happened.